What do you do with an abundance of blueberry cherry tomatoes? Tomato jam. Okay, I have all of my ingredients for my sweet and spicy cherry tomato jam ready. I have about 3 pounds of tomatoes. Now the blueberry cherry tomato has a very tender skin, and if you took away the seeds or the skin of a cherry tomato, you really wouldn't have anything left. So I'm using the whole tomato. I've just sliced them in half to get the process of breaking down the skin faster. I'm going to mix everything together into a pan, including the juice of 1 Meyer lemon, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of raw sugar, 2 tablespoons of the Meyer lemon peel sliced, 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh ginger. And because a lot of the tomato jam recipes I looked at online were Indian, and they always use cardamom in their tomato jam, so I am using cardamom seeds. I'm using one of my dried cayenne peppers, and I'm going to grind some cloves and cumin seed. These 3 I will grind together, and it's basically a rough estimate of garam masala in India. So it gives you the spicy, hot and spicy, interesting flavor. When you grind your spices fresh, that's the most aromatic you can get. So that's what I'm going to do now. That looks wonderful. Oh, wow. I shouldn't have done that. I forgot there was a pepper in there. Boy, that smells divine. Now we're going to add everything to the pan. Whoops, that's going to fill it up. But it cooks down. I don't use very much salt in my cooking, and I try to use low glycemic index sugar, which doesn't cause such a spike in your blood pressure, so you can eat more. And now the lemon juice, and here's our freshly ground chili, cardamom, cloves, and cumin. Just going to stir it up. Could have used a bigger pan, but that's okay, it's going to cook down. That smells wonderful. It smells spicy and exotic, and I can't wait. Except I am going to wait. I'm going to let this marinate for an hour. You're going to turn on the heat to a medium-high, and when it starts to boil, your sugar's going to dissolve. Then you're going to turn it down to medium, and it's going to cook for about an hour. I have turned the heat down, and I'm going to let it cook for about 45 more minutes. Okay, our jam is done, and this took a little longer than an hour to cook because the tomatoes were really juicy. You could add more sugar and it would cook faster. But I'm going to give this a taste test on some goat cheese and check it out. But first, Ooh, that is so interesting. A little bit hot, and the spices are deeply complex. Now let's try it on a little goat cheese. Wow. What a combination.